welcome to Prudent Media News. First, we take a look at the headlines. Justice Shah clears export of mineral ore from Goa, says illegal mining should stop, but exports should continue as it is. Sudhakar Reddy condemns Parikar's style of working, calls it Bhai government, criticizes it as undemocratic following continuous tussle with the union government. Vijay Sardesai tops list of filing questions in coming assembly session. Digambar Kamath on second position, leader of opposition far behind. Over in sports, former cricketers unite to vent disgust, want Parikar to implement Paintsay Commission report, raise serious question marks on Chetan Desai's committee. And Lusophonia Games in November next year means a race against time. And now the news in detail. Justice Shah, in his illegal mining report, has cleared that export of mineral ore from Goa cannot be stopped. He has mentioned that illegal mining should stop, but export should continue, considering bilateral agreements with a number of countries. He has submitted a second draft of his report to the union government.
Second interim report of Shah Commission mentions that ore exports from Goa will have to be continued. The report also mentions that the ore export would be necessary to maintain structural balance in the market. It further mentions, considering the current problems of Goa, ready regions exports will have to be continued. Bilateral agreements with countries like Japan and Korea would necessitate that such exports at the existing levels may be continued. Furthermore, stoppage of exports of ore could lead to closure of important mining capacity, as the volumes cannot be diverted to domestic use easily. Bureau Report, Prudent Media.
The Congress has termed the President Parikar-led government as Bhai government, criticizing the working style of Chief Minister Manohar Parikar. They have called it undemocratic by referring to CM's continuous tussle with the union government. The party has appealed all Goan legislators to vote in favour of UPA's presidential candidate Pranab Mukherjee.
Sudhakar Reddy has condemned the Chief Minister Manohar Parikar's style of working. Reddy claimed that Parikar doesn't let his fellow ministers work along.
But I am sorry to say, according to my feedback, the present government led by the Chief Minister, I think it is a one-man show government with his dictatorial, authoritarian attitude. That's what I am getting feedback. This is a Bhaiya government. If anybody approaches any minister, any MLA of the ruling party, just we have to settle the office, settle the things, but Bhaiya knows. Only Bhaiya can do the things. Bhai.
Sudhakar Reddy has advised the CM not to challenge the central government.
But by challenging union government in this way, it is not fair enough for the Chief Minister of the state. The union government, one side, is also challenged previously in NCTC issue also. He opposed. One side is saying fake note issue, Government of India is not taking any steps. But police is the state subject, law and order is the state subject. He can act on it. But that is not happening. But he is blaming center.
He appealed to the Goan legislators to vote for UPA's presidential candidate Pranab Mukherjee.
I am appealing political parties who are having secular credentials to support for the candidature of Sri Pranab Mukherjee ji with the UPA candidate for presidential office, President of India.
Our reporter from Panchi Pratik Parab with video journalist Devendra Gaonkar.
Fathoda MLA Vijay Sardesai has proactively surpassed the former Chief Minister Digambar Kamath in the race of filing questions for the coming assembly session. He is followed by former Chief Minister Digambar Kamath. Surprisingly, leader of opposition Pratap Singh Rane is nowhere close to them. The number of questions filed by the members of Legislative Assembly has crossed the 1,000 mark by July 6th. 1,347 questions have been filed by various members. Fathoda MLA Vijay Sardesai has overtaken the former Chief Minister Digambar Kamath. The MLA Vijay Sardesai has actively overtaken Digambar Kamath by a small margin. As per the latest figures, Vijay has filed around 192 questions. On the other hand, Digambar Kamath has filed 185 questions. 572 starred and 801 unstarred questions have been filed till July 6th. Sources claim that the number of questions filed by the opposition leader has just crossed 25. Questions are being filed at an average rate of 100 per day. Sources in the assembly claim that the number of questions used to swiftly surpass the 2000 mark during the last Congress reign, 13th being the last date for filing questions, it looks difficult that the 2000 mark will be crossed this session. Though the GPCC president is confident of staging a good opposition during this assembly session, the enthusiasm isn't visible amongst the congressmen. This assembly session will be the testing time for Congress leaders in the state.
Though the GPCC president feels confident of staging a good opposition in the assembly session, the enthusiasm isn't visible amongst the congressmen. This assembly session will be testing times for the Congress leaders in the state. With video journalists Devendra Gaonkar and Tulsidas Chari, Pratik Vasudev Parab for Prudent Media.
Traditional farming in villages is on the verge of extinction. A few years back, farmers ploughed their fields with the help of cows or bulls. But the system has advanced with machines and tractors making their work easier. Gaonkar family in Gaudongri is still bonded to their traditional farming with cows. Bhapesh Borkar reports. The farmer of olden times used cows or bullocks to plough their fields. The traditional method of farming was walking up and down the field, row by row, with a plough that was pulled by a cow or a bull, whereas the modern method, of course, is to use a machine such as a tractor.
तुमची फाटल्यान जी पिढी घेतली ते शेत जोत घालप चालू दवरतले दिसता तुमकां तांकां जमतलें तांकां जमपाना आतां भुरगे काम करून पळयना जोत बांदपाक पळयना जोत कोसप तांकां जमपाना म्हळ्यार आनी एक सादारण एक 15-20 वर्सांनी जोत म्हळ्यार ना जावन वयतलो आतां जाला ना आतां ना जाला कमी जाला
Indeed, many people believe that the crop yield is better if farmers stick to the traditional methods of farming. The main difference that is physical process of gathering and farming crops. However, the youth is diverting from farming into the world of technology.
एक लेवल लागाचे ट्रॅक्टर पता येता पण ती वयर सकल असले की मेरा मातशें म्हारग पडटा
मेर वयता मागीर ते मेर परत करची पडटा मागीर ते नुकसाण जाता ट्रॅक्टरान कोतलेले
नुकसाण म्हळ्यार आमी ट्रॅक्टरान अशी बेगीन जाता पूण तितले मेरा मातशें लुकसाण जाता आमकां
सगळे जाण जॉब सोदता गव्हर्मेंट ताका लागून
शेतां काम करपाक कोण पळयना
ना तितलेशें करपाक सोदिना
पूण आमी आतां आसा गांवडोंगरी ह्या वाठारांत आमी पळयता की पारंपारीक जे शेतकार आशिल्ले तेणी मात जोत आजून चालूच दवरला तांचें म्हणणें आसा की जो ट्रॅक्टर जर घालीत जाल्यार खूब हेंची प्लेन जाग्यार जे शेत आशिल्लें थंय ट्रॅक्टर चलता पूण ज्या जाग्यार सकयल वयर शेती आसा सकयल शेती आसा थंय ट्रॅक्टर चलना मुश्कील जाता तांकां मेराचे खूब त्रास जाता तांचें अशेंय म्हणणें आसा की ही फुडली जी पिढी येतली तांकां जोत चलोवप जमची ना आनी हें जोत म्हाका दिसता एक 5 ते 10 वर्सांनी लुप्त जातलें आनी फुडली आमची पिळगेक जोत म्हळ्यार कितें तें आमकां सांगचें पडटलें पिक्चर दाखोवचें पडटलीं जोताची किंवा फोटो दाखोवचो पडटलो प्रुडंट मिडिया खातीर हांव काणकोणच्यान बाबेश बोरकर.
It's time now for a short break. Stay tuned.